Hey, you're back. It's Alan here with another WordPress tutorial for DS106. Now to help you show how to take command of your menus. By default in WordPress, the menus are defined by the names of the pages that you've already created. It's kind of done for you, but if you create a bunch of pages, you can see I've got two pages here. I've got one that's kind of long, it's kind of boring. I want to be a little bit more flexible as to what I put on my menus. So that's what we're going to cover here in this tutorial. So yeah, I could go to my About Me page, and I could go to the other one. But in WordPress, as I'm going to show you, you get to define a whole menu structure that's not just pages, but category archives, or say specific URLs that you want to go to. You can mix and match, you can change the order, you can change the name of the labels that are on there. It's all really flexible. So let's go into our dashboard. There's a couple ways we can go about doing the editing of this. From the board top here, we can go under dashboard and go down to menus right away, or we could just probably the best way is just go into dashboard like you normally do. And this is where we're going to start working on our menus. Let's go. And now I'm sitting here patiently waiting for my site to load. It's a little bit dodgy today. Now I find myself filling time. Come on, you can do it, WordPress. You can do it. There we go. All right. So now inside the WordPress dashboard, I can go over towards appearances and go to menus. Get to the same place. You can get there from the top a lot quicker. Now in the menus interface, there's a couple things that we're going to have to set up once you do it. The thing is, if you have a newer theme, it can use this modern interface that we're using. If you go in there and you find out that it says menus are not available for your theme, that means you might be using an older theme that doesn't support the new menu structure. In this case, in the 2011 or 2012 theme, we're in good shape. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to give our menu a name. That's just used internally. We could call it, say, Fred. We could call it menu. I'm just going to call mine Stella, the name of the dog at my feet. It really doesn't matter. That's just internally what it calls menu. So click Create Menu, and now we've got a menu that we're going to be able to work with. So, of course, the menus start off empty because I haven't really added anything into them. If we go down a little bit, come on, Alan, you can scroll. Yeah, we'll take a look at some of the things that we can add to our menus. We've got a couple choice. First thing is we look at the pages. Now this lists the pages that I've used recently. I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to put the About Me. So I don't have to use all my pages, but let's say I just want the About Me. Under the options for page, I can actually shrink it. I like my menus to be nice and compact. I just want it to say About. So I've got this first menu item named About. Now if we go back down to our categories, since we're organizing stuff by categories, we can say have a link that'll pull up all the things that I put in the category stuff. That's like my big main category. It's my sort of drop bag, and that's all I want to do. But now we can get kind of fancy. We have these other categories I've set up, and the only thing that are going to appear are stuff that actually have blog posts in them. So I'm going to pick those three, and I'm going to add them to my menu. And I could actually like shuffle them around. I could change the order of them. But I'm going to do something even more subtle. I'm just going to drag them and slide them one notch in. Do you see that they're indented? That means that these items will appear as drop-down menu items when I select stuff. Now the other neat thing is we can make a menu link that goes to any URL we like anywhere on the internet. This could be anything you can imagine. But first thing I'm going to do is just one to the main URL for my blog. This one's on umwblogs.org. And I get to decide what label. So I'm going to create a home button. It's easy to have so people can have a place to get to the top of your blog. So I made a home button by URL. And since DS106 is important, I'm going to put that in as a menu item as well. You see I get this DS106 item. And maybe, let's see, oh yeah, since I love the daily create, I'm going to put a menu item in for the daily create, TDC, ds106.us. Of course, call it daily create. I could call it daily chore, whatever I want. Again, I'm going to drag that up, and I'm going to make that kind of bop in as an indented menu item. So we have a bunch of these things that we could add, and we could go back and add more, but this is kind of the basic overview. So right now what we want to do is just make sure that we save it. So anytime you make a change, you got to save that menu to make sure it's going to be reflected on your site. Now, if I went back now and checked it, I won't see any of these new menus yet because I haven't activated this one. And this is a key step that I miss a lot, but other people do as well. So it says my theme supports one menu, so I get to pick which one I want to be my primary navigation, which means it's going to be right across the bottom of my 2012 theme. I'm going to save that. So I want to use the Stella menu. And you can see, you could actually, if you wanted to, you could have a different menu every day of the week if you wanted to swap out your menus. You could actually do that. But now you can see, look how that's changed. Now I've got the menu things that I picked. So I've got a home button, take my blog, I got an about link right there. Under DS106, I got the link there, but also a drop-down link to Daily Create. And then under my stuff menu, I've got links that go to the archives of everything I've put in these different categories. So this is really handy as a way to organize the work, which is why we've been telling you to organize it. So here I am in my thoughts and ideas section. I've got a few posts in there. I probably have more in cool stuff. Looks like I have 1, 2, 3 blog posts organized in cool stuff. I go to my Groovy About page. Look, my name is Alan. I have a blog. I used to have a dog. I will write more later. It's kind of a Zen-like About page. I'm sure your About pages are quite a bit more interesting. So this same kind of menu navigation system is super flexible. You can change it like all the time. You can shuffle things around. So think about the ways that you want to be able to organize the work that you created. And really, it's the same thing that we're doing on the DS106 site. So let's go bop over there and take a look to see the menus there, which appear on the top right of this theme that we use. So you can see it's a little bit different, but we have a home button just like you did or I did. We have an about page. Under about, we actually have more bits of information. We got the class information for UMW. We've got the other courses that are using DS106. And we got under components, we got parts of the DS106 site which have their own sub navigation. So you can get pretty crazy and pretty cool with organizing your menus. And that is the way of doing menus for DS106 because it can happen here.